Alright, this is my solution for the GPA calculator. So this is going to be a little bit different than the tip calculator. We're not going to do as much asking the user for things. We're going to just kind of hard code some of these values ourselves. So first we're going to choose the number of classes that we want. So we're going to say we're going to have I guess we can ask the user for a little bit. Let's just say we know that the user had a history class, so we'll say let's call it history grade. Alright, so we could say, what grade did you get in history? Okay, so we're going to get the history grade, and then I'm just going to put 3 other classes here, and we're going to make one of them our English grade, and the other one will be our math grade, and then we'll have a biology. And then we need to fix our output here, so we'll have English, math, and biology. So we're going to ask for all these things, and they're going to give us a value like what we have here. So they're going to give us an A or an A minus or a B plus, something like that. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to actually need to create variables that hold all of these things. So we're going to make A equal to 4, because that's how many points an A gets, and A minus, oh, we can't do that, that's an invalid variable name, so we'll call it A min equals 3.7. We'll have a B plus, which equals, I'm forgetting, I don't know, I think it might be 3.4. You guys probably know better than I do. We're just going to say 3.4 for now, and then we're going to have a B, which equals 3.0, a C plus equals 2.7, a C equals 2.4, and a C minus equals 2.0. Alright, and I want that to be a float, not an int, so I'm going to add a decimal. And I'm not going to do D's or F's, because we don't get those anyway, right? Hopefully we don't get any C's, but sometimes it happens. And sometimes we get D's and F's, but hopefully we don't. Alright, so I'm just going to stop there just for simplicity. So what we're going to need to do now is we're going to have to calculate the points that each grade represents. So we're going to have to do something like, if history grade equals A, then do something. And we talked about this thing today. It's called pass. I don't really know what I want this to do yet, so I'm just going to put it there. And then we'll do an else if, and another else if, and we're going to do 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're not going to do an else, or our else will be something like this. I didn't understand. And remember, we have to have matching quotes. I didn't understand your grade. Okay, so that will be our else. And then we'll have an A min, B plus, B, oh, we didn't put a C minus. Sorry, this, or B minus, this is a B minus. And this would be a C plus. This would be a C, and let's just leave C minus off. Okay, so now we've got, oh, we already have that. So A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, and C. Okay. All right. So that is how we would do something for the A's, for everything like this in this program. We also would have to do the exact same thing for, so we'll do everything for history. Micro break. It's telling me I need to take a break. So we'd have to do it for history, we'd have to do it for English, math, and biology. Okay, so let's replace all of these. So instead of history, we want it to be English. Why didn't that work? Let's try it again. There we go. And then instead of history, we want math. And then instead of history, we want biology. Okay. Now we just have to say what to do. So now that we have a mechanism to see what grade they say they got, and we actually want all these in quotes, right? So instead of that, we want A minus. And let's just do, yeah, I can do this faster. So instead of min, we want a minus and a quote. Okay, and then let's do that again for plus. So instead of a plus, we want a plus and a quote. And now we just need to put, so now instead of an equal equals plus or space, we want an equal equals space quote. And that should do it. Except we do have a couple problems. So B didn't work because it didn't have a plus or a minus. C didn't work. A, here, we could do this faster too. So if we have an A quote, we want to replace that with, or A colon, we want to put it with an A quote colon. And let's do the same thing for B. So we have B colon, replace that with B quote colon, and then do the same for C. Sorry, this is not as interesting. This is just text editing, so we haven't even looked at the code a lot. So we want C colon replaced with C quote colon. Okay, now we're good. So now we can just look at what they gave us, and now what we can do is set our history grade, well, let's see. Let's look at our algorithm again. So calculate the GPA, which is the sum and the points divided by sum and the credits. Sum is a special function. So now that we're switching on all of these, we're finding out whether they gave us an A, an A minus, a B plus, a B minus, C plus C. Now we need to put that into our calculation. So let's create this variable GPA and set it equal to 0. And we've got to, now we're not going to pass anymore. So we're going to say GPA, let's see here. Let's actually keep a separate thing called points. Set that equal to 0. And we can say points plus equal A. Okay. And then we can do A minus B plus B minus yeah, so this is a little tedious. In the future we're going to learn some better ways to do this, but now since all we know is if statements and stuff like that, it's a little bit longer. So the same thing will apply, and I should have copied all this afterward because I'm going to actually do it again, because I don't want all those passes. But now I need to replace history with English. And we need to get rid of this and replace English with math. We're getting there. Oh, coding is going slow. And then replace math with biology. Okay, now we should have, once we get to this point down here at the bottom, we should have the total points that we got. Okay, so to calculate the GPA, we sum up the points and we divide it by the sum of the credits. So let's see, the credits. So let's assume that the credits are all 3 credit classes. So there might be a class that you have that's only 2 credits or 1 credit. We're going to assume that all credits are 3. Okay. In college, that's typically the case. Sometimes you have other ones. In school, and in high school, junior high, I don't know what they do. So you'll have to figure that out. But we could print out the GPA. So now the GPA equals, sorry, let's look for the other GPA. I thought I made another one. Maybe I got rid of it. All right, so the GPA equals the sum of the points that we made divided by the sum of the credits. And this is total credits, so it's going to be credits times 4, since we have 4 classes that we're calculating. So that should be our cumulative GPA. So let's print GPA, take a look, and see what it says. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's clear the screen. Alright, so let's run GPA calculator. What grade did you get in history? Let's say I like history. I probably got an A minus. What grade did you get in English? English was always kind of easy for me, so I probably got an A. What grade did you get in math? I was never that good at math, so I'm probably going to put a B. And what grade did you get in biology? I probably also got a B. Oh, we tried to do something bad. So the float object is not iterable. Yeah, okay. So we actually don't need to sum the points because we're actually going to learn about this next time, about lists. Neither of these are lists. So the points, that's already summed. We already added all of that up. That's already a sum of all of our points. And then the credits, the sum of all the credits, we have 4 classes, 3 credits each. So that's already the sum there. So that should actually work as it is. So I said A minus, A, B, B. So our cumulative GPA is 18.267. Alright, so that is not right. So let's see what we did wrong. Alright. So one thing I want to do is just print out. So what we call this is debugging. You guys may have heard that, oh, that program has a bug in it. So that was a term that was created a long time ago when computers were actually fairly large. They actually covered whole rooms, and there might actually be a bug, like a moth, inside of a computer, and it would cause the program to not work correctly. So they said, oh, there's a bug in there, and there really was a bug in there. So that's how that term started, and we've just kind of kept with it. So what we're going to do right now is debug our program because there's some sort of bug in it. And one of the best ways to debug a program is just to print out to the console screen our variables, to just try to print messages to see what happens. So we're going to do a print statement right here, and we're going to print our points and our credits. And I'm also going to print credits times 4. Okay, so that should print everything out. Okay, let's try that. GPA calculator. So we got an A minus, A, B, B. Oh, didn't like that. That's because I'm clearing the screen. We don't want to clear it. We want to be able to look at it. So A minus, A, B, B. So we've got 13.7 points, 3 credits, 12 total credits. So really what we should be getting is 13.7 divided by 12 is 1.14, which is also wrong. But 18.26, I don't know where it's getting that. Oh, it's that shouldn't matter. Let's try that again. Yeah, so the order of operations there was a little off. But that's not right either. Ah, I know the problem. So I believe that the correct calculation would be the way that we add all these up is we actually multiply our grade by the credit. Okay, so what this would do is we'd multiply by credits. So that's how we do that. So let's see if I can fix this in one fell swoop. So we want plus equals and star space star plus no, that's not going to work. Alright, so we're just going to have to do this a little bit of longer way. I don't like that. I'm going to see if I can figure some better way out. Okay, so I fixed them all. Now, if we look at all these, they're all being multiplied by credits, which is 3, And if you were doing this and your credits were different, then you'd have to just make sure that you did it differently. So anyway, that's how you would do it. So now let's get rid of our print statement here at the bottom, where we're printing all of that stuff out, and we can clear the screen again. But before we do that, we want to have a raw input that's saying press enter to quit. Okay, so let's try running that. Alright, so what grade did you get in history? We got an A-, an A in English, a B in math, a B in biology. So our cumulative GPA is 3.425. And there we go. Now we quit, and that is how we do that. And like I said before, in the future we'll be able to learn how to do this much simpler. It's kind of tedious that we had 4 of these. So in the future we'll be able to just make it so we only have to do 1 of those, and that we can just swap in and out history grade for whatever we want. So this will actually be a much simpler program when you guys have a few more tools under your belt. But that's how you do it.